Claude Opus 5 versus Kimi K3. Everybody's been saying how amazing these two models are, so I'm excited to finally put them head to head. In this video, I had them build 5 different games, and both AIs get the exact same prompt every time. For the final game, I gave them 12 hours each, and Opus burned through over $1,000 worth of tokens on that one game alone. Across everything, Opus came out to about $2,300. Kimi built all 5 games for about $400, and Kimi K3's results really surprised me. This video is sponsored by Moonshot AI, the company behind Kimi K3, and honestly, I was wanting to try this model out anyways. I keep hearing it's really good at making games. Opus ran on my Claude subscription, so its numbers are what it would have cost on the API. Kimi's numbers are my actual bill. And shout out to RemakeBench, whose video inspired me to do a true side-by-side comparison like this. First up, an arcade boat racing game. The prompt asked for cel-shaded anime-style water, boats that could actually ride the waves, drifting and boosting, and 3 AI racers that each have their own personality. The idea and the original prompt for this game come from this guy, HelloViam, on Twitter. I saw it, thought it looked awesome, and had to try it myself. His prompt is what's called a gauntlet loop, a style created by Matt Schumer. It demands a finished, beautiful, playable game at the quality a AAA studio would ship. And the AI has to screenshot its own game while a harsh critic agent reviews those screenshots. It loops, fixing what the critic names until the critic can't find anything left to complain about. Every game in this video runs that same loop. Claude ran it in Claude Code, and Kimi ran it in Kimi Code with goal mode and swarm mode on. Both fan out subagents to build each part of the game in parallel, which means I'm comparing the full workflows here, not just the raw models. Opus finished in about 5 hours and cost $317. Kimi took almost 15 hours and cost $140. They were not lying that Kimi K3 is made for long horizon tasks. It ran 7 critic rounds on the ocean alone. Both AIs kept writing the same warning in their reports. No human has ever heard the audio. It was funny how seriously they both kept flagging it. Anyways, both games look genuinely good. Opus called its game Inkwake, Kimi went with Swell Racers. Opus had the classic AI problem, left and right were backwards. Kimi's boat was really fun once I figured out the drifting. It's like Mario Kart, you hold a drift and get a boost when you release it. To get Opus boost, you charge it by driving in the middle lane and then just hold space when you have it, which felt really boring compared to earning it off a drift. The riders are actually animated too. They lean into the turns and brace forward when you slam down off a wave. It feels really responsive. And when you win in Kimi's game, your guy waves his hand in celebration, which was hilarious to me. Opus packs more detail into its HUD, lap times, your position, the gap to the racer next to you. I like the lap times, and its turn indicator placement is a little better than Kimi's, but overall it's a bit busy and I would like it to be more minimal. And I think this might be a theme for the whole video. Opus adds more details, but some of them don't really make sense, like how the rider is just straddling the boat awkwardly. I like Kimi's colors better. They feel more fitting for the anime style, where Opus look more muted. And the prompt literally asks for a high saturation palette with anime energy, so Kimi just stuck to the prompt better here. But I don't love that in Kimi's the racing line fades out as you ride up on it. And I'd say I like Opus Water and Cloud slightly more, but they're very comparable. If I kept building on these, I'd add obstacles, items, tricks off the waves, flips, more maps. I guess basically turned it into a water Mario Kart. So round 1, both games look amazing, but at less than half the price and more fun to drive, this one goes to Kimi, even though it took 3 times as long. Next up is a snowboarding game, and this time I changed 2 things. I gave them a reference image from this clip that went viral on Twitter, which I thought looked really cool. I wasn't sure if this was a real game or an AI video, so I wanted to try and make it myself. And since Kimi took 15 hours on the boat game, I wanted to see what it could do with a shorter time. And to be honest, I didn't want to spend a whole week just making the games for this video. So this time, both AIs got a hard time budget, 7 hours. Opus took 5 hours and 17 minutes, $723. Now for Kimi, I accidentally ran it on high effort instead of max. It took 3.5 hours and only cost $38. That's 19 times cheaper than Opus 5. Opus clearly looks closer to the reference, especially the guy on the snowboard, and carving an edge is genuinely satisfying. Kimi's version is a little darker and grayer and emptier. There's a wide abyss in the mid-ground and the mountains aren't as good. The trees also visually disappear as you ride up on them, but their collision stays, so sometimes you crash into invisible trees trying to remember where they were, which does make for a more difficult game, I guess. I'm sure that'd be a quick 1 prompt few minute fix though. Despite all of that, Kimi's game is more fun. You pick up speed fast and you catch an edge riding side to side, and the height you get off jumps feels really cool. In Opus game, if you try to spin off a jump, the camera completely loses you. You can't ride the snowboard backwards either, or any other way. It always snaps you back to facing forward. And you crash really easily, with no feedback at all. You're just left guessing what you did wrong. Kimi's camera actually follows your spins. You can ride backwards, and when you crash, it tells you the exact angle you landed at, so you know what you did wrong. And the snow spray coming off the board looks great in both games. Kimi's left and right were backwards though, same as Opus boat. So for this round, Opus wins on looks, Kimi wins on fun. And Kimi did that on high effort, while literally being 19 times cheaper. For the next game, I gave them this reference image. It's from a very viral tweet of an AI video. It's this painterly pixel art style, like an old hand-painted animation background. I really liked the look of it and wanted to see if I could make it into a real game. This time, a 4-hour limit. And honestly, I'm pretty happy with how the look turned out. It's not as good as the AI video, but both of them landed on a really interesting art style that could be fine-tuned into something great. It's just so cool that you can take any image or video and then be walking around inside a real game version of it. The goal of the game is to walk the path down the valley and light 7 beacons along the way, all the way to the castle gate. And funny enough, both games did the same tricky thing. They put the very first beacon behind you when you spawn in. Also, the torches turned out great in both games. I love how those look. Opus finished in under 2 hours. It decided its fixes were just trading one defect for another, so it stopped. $224. Kimi took about 2 hours as well, $58. Opus wins the visuals here. The river water looks a lot better. The torch and sword too. Even the embers floating through the forest on the way up to the castle. Everything's a little better and more detailed. This is the game where Opus extra details actually worked for it. The audio too, the bird song is genuinely lovely and the thunder sounds great. It even changed the footstep sounds for every single surface. Grass, wood, stone. Some of it was a little funny and extra, but you can just tell this model likes to put in a lot of detail. The sprint is janky though. It bounces you up and down like crazy. Kimi's movement is smoother, the chimney smoke is nice, and obviously, once again, way cheaper. Though early on, there's just this random little staircase in the middle of the path for some reason. In Kimi's controls, all 4 directions were reversed. Forward was backward, left was right. Oh, and something funny happened during Opus build. Halfway through, Opus deleted one of its own agent's testing tools. It thought it was a duplicate, but it wasn't. And its final report just flat out said, I deleted the audio owner's verification tool. That was my mistake. But yeah, this round, Opus on quality, Kimi at a quarter of the price. Okay, one quick build before the finale where they get 12 hours each. For this one, each AI gets just 1 hour, 1 HTML file, a Supercar Showroom with an exploding parts feed. No critic loop this time. I wanted to see raw output under pressure. They both named their cars, which I love. Opus built the Apex GT1. Kimi built the Veloce S760. Opus used 215,000 triangles. Kimi used 67,000. And more triangles did not mean better. Opus car is blinding. The reflections flare everywhere. There's a spoiler piece cutting through the bottom middle of the car that makes no sense. And the orbit camera doesn't work half the time. It just tries to snap you back into place. Kimi's is cleaner. The parts are where the parts should be, for the most part. The camera just works. This round goes to Kimi. $7 versus $3. Faster, cheaper, worked better. And now, the finale. An entire starship you can walk through in first person, room by room. You can sit down in the cockpit and actually fly it through space. And there's a whole solar system out there to explore. Different planets, moons, even the sun. Then you charge the warp drive and warp through space to an alien jungle planet. One that you can actually land on, step out of the ship, and explore. They each got a 12-hour budget. Opus used 8 hours and 40 minutes of it and $1,057 worth of tokens. Kimi used 6.5 hours and $163. Opus spawned me standing on top of a chessboard, sitting in the middle of the room. And while everything was lagging in, if you didn't move the right direction, you just got stuck up there, which kind of sums up Opus build. A crazy amount of detail, and some of it just gets in the way. Kimi spawns you in the cockpit, not on top of anything, and the positioning of everything is just cleaner. The doors slide open, and in Opus game, the doorway to the warp room is half blocked. Not by anything real, just decoration. Classic too much detail. There's a fire locker in the hallway, fully labeled with its own button. The button does nothing. That's kind of a theme with Opus. It loves adding buttons that don't do anything. Kimi went the other way, fewer things, but everything is real. I could actually brew the coffee in the bedroom. Walking to the back of the ship, Opus has the spacesuit on the wall, half blocked by crates. Kimi has a whole labeled suit station, clean, nothing in the way. Then the cockpit. Opus blocked its own entrance again with a huge random metal piece, but inside, it's insanely detailed. Every switch is labeled, even if it's not all clean and proper up close. There's even a little hologram of the whole solar system floating between the seats, and looking out of the cockpit looks crazy. In Kimi, sitting down in the pilot's seat froze the game at first, but is a quick fix, and the screens actually work. You can select a planet on the system display. Opus has a button for that too, but it does nothing. You can fly the ship first person in the cockpit or third person from outside the ship. In Kimi's though, at first I was just spinning out of control, so I sent a quick prompt and a few minutes later it flew no problem. For some reason, both ships have a huge hole in the back of them that you can see right through to space. Both games also have different cinematic camera views you can switch through. This shot of the ship over the jungle planet is just so cool. Opus flying had some issues though. It crashed on me multiple times. If you roll the ship while in the cinematic camera, the whole game freezes, and there's a bunch of random black boxes that flicker while you fly. Look at this sun though. Earlier in the build, Opus critic called it, quote, a featureless white blob. With the light reflecting off the ship and everything, I think it looks awesome now. Okay, time to warp. You charge it up, and if you walk back to the warp room, the power source is actually charged up and spinning now, with power flowing through the lines connected to it. And the warp lever itself is hidden under a little red safety cover you have to flip open first. You pull it, and Opus went hard here. The whole warp is a full cinematic, and the tunnel looks really cool. Kimi's warp works, but there's no real cinematic for it. Then you come out the other side, and the jungle planet is right there. For the landing, you hit the atmosphere belly first, and the ship catches fire. You punch through the clouds, and the jungle opens up underneath you. Then it cuts to the ground, and you watch yourself come down, kicking up a ring of dust as the ship settles. It's not perfect by a long shot, but it's still really cool. And once you're down, looking out through the cockpit glass with the forest all around you is beautiful. Getting out of Opus ship took some work though. I couldn't get the exit ramp open at all. It had put the button in a completely unreachable spot, so I had to send a prompt to fix that. And even then, you don't really walk down the ramp. For both games, you just kind of glitch through it onto the ground. But once I was on the planet, it looked really cool. God rays coming through the canopy, glowing spores drifting through the air. The colors are so vibrant everywhere. There's a colossal tree, ancient ruins, and a waterfall pouring into a glowing pool. Kimi's looks cool, but I really love the look of Opus Jungle World. Although in Opus, I kept getting stuck on random plants. Everything you've seen in these games is generated from pure code. No downloaded models, no textures. The water, the mountains, the cars, the planets, it's all just math. Alright, without even mentioning price, just on quality and how fun the games were, I think Kimi won the boat racing game, the snowboarding game, and the car showroom. And while Kimi made a really cool space game, Opus space game just looked unreal. But Kimi's been so much cheaper on every single game, literally 19 times cheaper on the snowboarding game. Total bill, $2,300 for Opus, and only $400 for Kimi. These AIs are progressing so fast and are so amazing at making games. I really enjoyed using Kimi K3 and highly recommend it. So if you want to try Kimi yourself, use the link in my description. And right now, there's an extra 15% bonus for new users on your first purchase until October 1st. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment what I should make next.